Ooh. Hey my widow creeps. Hi, I'm Bella Laveau if you've never been here before. And if you have been here before, then what up though? If you want to see the beginning of my transformation into a 1990s hoochie mama starting with nails, then stay tuned.
Fine woman with some twerk with her. See, got a lot, but I can work with her. Want a big fine woman with some pop, 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 with some twerk, with some pop, 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 with some twerk, pop, pop, twerk, pop, pop, twerk, pop, pop. Bounce your booty up and down, 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 bounce your booty up and down. Turn around, stick your booty out, stick your booty out, turn around, stick your booty.
Alright y'all, so we're going to go ahead and get started, and this is going to be a pretty long video. So while I'm in the midst of turning myself into a hoochie mama, we are going to also just talk too. So what I'm showing you here is just basically like a scraping tool. It kind of looks like a file, and honestly y'all, I normally have problem with lifting anytime I went to pretty much any nail tech. But I just realized that like foundation is key to everything. So all the years I was blaming my quote unquote oily nail beds, really I just needed more prep work on myself. So what I'm doing is I'm going to get all of the dead skin off of my nails by any means necessary, as well as cut back the cuticles, push them back, everything that I need to do so there's only nail exposed, not any dead skin, not anything that can assist in lifting, okay, especially with long nails. So yeah, normally I can get about 3 weeks of me doing my own nails, 3 weeks of wear, and I'm gonna say really longer than that, because if I wouldn't have been ready to take them off, I honestly probably could have went a whole nother week. But anyway, so this is a little drill bit set that I got. Everything that I use, I put it in my Amazon store so y'all can get to it easily. This whole drill bit set with the ceramics and with the iridescent was only $9.99, like for every bit. So, and it works pretty good. Like I'm very happy with them. So I would definitely repurchase this if I needed to. So I'm going to take one of the bits, and this one, it has a little small round ball on the end, and it just kind of gets up under that cuticle and gets everything out. So I'm going to scrape and get all of that dead skin out, because I deal with hair and my hands are in water and I'm always washing them. Like, I just be having a lot going on with my hands, a lot of hangnails, stuff like that. So I'm really preparing my nails good, because I do want them to last a few weeks. So then I'm going to go in with the pointy drill bit as well and do the same thing. Right here I think I'm still using the ball, yeah, but I end up using the pointy one too, just to make sure that I was able to get everything. Now I don't want you guys to overly file, okay? And before we even get that further into it, like, yeah, I'm new to these nail videos, okay? One of my subscribers asked for them, well, multiple asked for it, so I was like, you know what, I already got to do my nails anyway, so let me just go ahead and make a video. Which y'all, to record this and do my nails took 5 hours, because I was trying to record, and everything you do when you record literally is double the time. So yeah, so now I'm just clipping away my cuticles. Don't go, be really careful with this, y'all. If you're doing it, please be careful, be gentle, take your time, because you will literally cut yourself, okay? And I've done it before, so be careful. So right here, I'm just taking some acetone, and that's just to wipe off all the extra dust, because I ain't feel like getting up. So I'm about to show y'all. This is all of the colored acrylics that I had. I got this set from Amazon. And yeah, like I said, all of that will be linked. So I'm showing you right there that green, because I got it because it had this green in it, and I thought it was going to be that green. It was a super cheap kit, so I'm not really that disappointed. And I probably can lighten it up with some white or some clear, but it was totally not that green, as you can see. It's not a lime. It's like regular green. So I'm going to use the Empress curve tips today, because I am a hoochie mama and I'm going to Freaknik, and I have to have my curved Flojo nails. Y'all remember Flojo? And yeah, so I'm going to clip off some of the weld. I ended up not doing this on the rest of the tips except for the pinky, I don't know. These were kind of just acting a little bit weird by the well part. I had to take off a few of them to redo them because it was cracking when I didn't have it all the way down and like close to my nail bed. So yeah, I lost a clip of me shaping them, cutting and shaping them. So y'all, this is here when I've already shaped that hand. Okay. So these brushes are by Beetles, and then the big thicker one, the 18, which is this one right here. It is by Pana brand. Oh my god, expensive brushes. Okay, but it works good. Nothing sticks to it. My god sister actually put me onto it. So yeah, thanks Ash. And yeah, like I I think that if you just starting off, you might do better with a 14, which is the Beatles one I have. It's a little smaller, but it's gonna take you longer to do long nails. Um, so I kind of rotate between both of them just to show the use of both of them. So my first step is I am taking the clear acrylic, and that one is by Mia Secret, and I'm doing a super thin layer. And I'm just laying it down kind of like as my groundwork before I use the colored acrylic. And that colored acrylic cannot be used on its own. It has to be encapsulated with something else. It's not, yeah, it definitely needs to be used with something else. So I'm just going to lay a little groundwork and then I'm going to go on top of it with the acrylic, kind of like paint, like I'm painting it with that acrylic. So I'm going to be using the clear to build. So I'm going to do my first layer. It's going to be thin because, of course, too, I don't want the nails to be too thick. And then I'm going to go in with the colors and do my color work or whatever. And from there, I will encapsulate that with clear again. So yeah, y'all just see me shaping it and all of that. So yeah, like how many of y'all love the 90s? Like 80s and 90s, my favorite era. 70s fashion, I absolutely love. I love 80s fashion too and 90s. Like I'm just stuck within those three time periods. But I just love everything ghetto fabulous about the 90s. It was just everything was extra. Hair was extra. Like everything was extra. So right there, I'm rebuilding my nail because I kind of filed a little bit too much on the side when I was shaping it. So I just filled in that little area instead of taking off the whole nail and kind of made me a little side part that I took off. So yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm definitely like coughing during it. This is crazy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm doing one hand 90s, one hand an updated version of the 90s. So the 2020-ish version of what that is to me. And I'm starting off here with this hand. And I always do my right hand first because I just feel like I could, do it better without the nails on. I don't know. I never really tried. I probably will be all right, but so I'll just do this first before I even put the nails on the other hand. I'll just do that hand, and yeah. So what I'm doing is kind of like a mosaic stained glass dish type of look, and I'm just randomly placing it. Nothing strategic. Just trying to keep colors that are like too close together away from each other so that you'll be able to see them. And I'm keeping it fairly thin towards the cuticle. Y'all don't forget that. That'll help with lifting too, or help prevent lifting to make sure that everything near the cuticle is flushed and that you do not put acrylic on top of the cuticle, okay? So then I just go over and I encapsulate, which honestly, I figured out that I just did better if I kind of waited for it to dry a little bit more before I went over with the acrylic. So that's what I did with the other nails. So yeah, this look a little crazy right now, but once it all like meshes together and gets filed and stuff, it's like super cute. So I lost a clip of me doing my ombre nail, and it's like literally one of my favorite nails on the 2000s hand because it meshed so good. It just looked like fire. Like that color was supposed to be more of a pink, but it's more of like a pink orange type of color. It just depends. Like when it's by itself, it looks a little more pink, but when it's next to other stuff, it looks more on the orangey side. But yeah, so that's how I did that nail, and then yeah, just showing y'all from the side. Oh, look at that curve, baby. That's that hoochie mama curve. Humpback, hoochie mama. You gotta have that humpback curve when you're a hoochie mama, okay? Yeah, shout out to Ash for recommending this panel brush when I asked her about brushes or whatever that she liked, because I really do like it. I want to get it in a 14 too. So I left all this in so y'all can see like how it get real sometimes, like I be having to clean up just so I don't have acrylic everywhere and just have it on one finger versus my whole hand. It's just a lot. I be having look, that is cotton on my finger. I be doing the most. It be rough sometimes. And fair warning, this camera lens, I don't know if I'll use it again for nail tutorials because it has the best quality, but with the focus, it was trying to focus too much. Guess it's just too much going on. All right, so now I'm showing you this process on this hand. So I'm using the E-Nail Couture glue. It was $1 when I got all that stuff from them. Ain't nothing spectacular about it. Ain't nobody finna be waiting no 2 months for it again, I'll tell you that. So, but I am going to be using my products that I bought. So, yeah, I just went ahead and glued them all down and whatnot. I had them all measured out. Pretty simple. From what I heard from other nail people who do nail videos all the time is that, like, the audience likes to see this part. Y'all tell me if y'all like to see this part, because honestly, I'll just cut all that out and go straight to the design. Less editing for me, so I wouldn't be mad if y'all be like, nah, we don't want to see all that. But yeah, like, what is y'all favorite nail style? Like, leave it down below. Do you like coffin nails? Do you prefer stiletto? Do you like just old school square? Are you a curve girl? Almond, long, short? Like designs, no designs, minimalistic, hoochie mama? Like, what's your thing? What do you like? And I think leaving some of these clips in like this too give me time to talk to y'all as well, so it's just not like, boom, here's a tutorial and whatever. So I already cut them and I'm just shaping them on the side. I don't know, this file, it was alright to use. I had pretty much shaped this hand pretty good though, so I ain't need too much of a harsh file. So right here I wanted to show y'all the other prep work that I do, because I lost the clips when I was doing my first hand. So thank goodness I decided to record this hand too, and I can show y'all. So after I do all my cuticle work and everything, then I put the nail tips on and I file where they meet the natural nail. And then of course you file and you rough up your natural nail as well. And yeah. So then I'm gonna go in with the E-Nail Couture dehydrator and primer. And normally I do 2 layers of dehydrator, then 2 layers of primer, but I really forgot to do 2, so I ended up rotating and it didn't make a difference. Like, it seemed to be cool so far. So I'm just doing the same thing, laying down my groundwork. So this is my 90s hand, and I'm gonna do the old school 90s like paint lines and dots situation. And I almost was going to just do this whole hand clear and then paint the nails with the colors in the blocks, and I was like, no, that's so basic, girl. Do it with acrylic. Like, challenge yourself. So boom, here we are. Y'all also can tell me if y'all just would prefer music in the background and not me talking, because I could do that too. Yeah, so I am like an organized mess. That's how I label myself. Like, y'all, when I be doing my nails, I be having stuff everywhere. Do you hear me? Everywhere. Like, I really am trying to do better with that. Tomei gave me these little storage boxes to help. So I think it's gonna help me not have stuff all over my desk, and like I think it's just gonna help me out. So y'all make sure, excuse me, y'all, make sure that you get up under your nails. Like if acrylic end up seeping around the side and all of that, don't make your job harder by having to try to file all of that off under there. Just extra work. So I just take my brush and go under and just make sure I scoop out if anything did, kind of leak. Like if I had picked up a bead that was a little too watery and it kind of leaked around the side, I'll go and make sure that I pick it up. So here, this is where I got annoyed. So I started with this yellow. Oh no. Like it was clumping up. It was doing the most. I don't know what was happening. I think I was trying not to have my brush so wet so it didn't slide everywhere, but it didn't do well with that. So yeah, I had to end up wiping it off. And look, I kept trying to fix it. Like, why, girl? Why did you? Why, sis? No, it was not. Look at me, like just smashing the. Just look at me, just doing too much. So I end up, boom, scraping it off. But all is not lost because I went over that same spot with the orange color you see next to it on the desk, and boom, saved the day. It's also helpful to have that foundation down already, because then I wasn't trying to scrape it off of my real nail. Like it was just on top of other acrylics, so it wasn't so bad. So what I'm doing here now is I'm doing the block off work that I'm gonna do for the y'all remember how they used to just paint them squares all kind of ways and then go in and add the lines and the dots, baby. Huh. Y'all not ready for this 90's hoochie mama realness. So y'all, them people had fired me, but we gonna talk about that in another video. I have to laugh about it now because it's just like it don't make no sense for me to sit up here and be upset, Like, what is that gonna fix? So yeah, so I laid it down. Again, I apologize for like things being out of focus because that camera, it was just, I guess it just didn't know what to do, like how to do it. So I'm gonna just go back to my traditional regular lens, even though this quality is a lot better. I'm gonna just go back to that to film nail videos if I film anymore. So yeah, now this nail is gonna stay clear that I'm doing right here. I'm gonna have two clear nails on this hand, and they'll just have stones, and then the other two will have the line and dot work, and then one will just be just regular color. So this pink probably was the easiest to work with out of all the colors. It was the most opaque out of the ones that I used, because that set came with like 20, but of course I only used I think 6. So but the pink was the best one out of all of it. It was the most like opaque. I didn't have to use as much or try to build it up as much to get color like I did the other ones. So just so y'all know that if you decide to get this set. Yeah, so I just built it up until it was as opaque as I wanted it. And then I go down to the bottom and just do a little bit more there. And then it's going to get encapsulated. So again, don't try to force yourself to build with that because you're going to have to encapsulate it anyway. And then either you're just going to work yourself or your nails is just kind of way too thick. Even though I like thick nails. Like I like my, never mind. Never mind. So now we on to the little baby nail. And I'm doing the same thing that I did on the thumb. Just random placement of little squares of color. Some of these I had to go back over and redo the, go back on top of it to make it a little bit darker. That green actually was pretty good too. Pretty a little more opaque than anything. You would think like the super dark colors would have been the most, but no, not so far. But the blue is probably the darkest that I used in this set anyway. Most likely, instead of using these on their own, the next time I probably will mix them in with, building acrylic, some clear or something, and see how that works. It was a learning curve, trying to figure out the best way. But I mean, this worked out. So when you building this though, like try to get it as like flat as possible. If that makes sense, like try to get it even, like the sections, because if not, then you're gonna have to keep going. You have to, when you encapsulate it, you're gonna have to make sure that's even so that you don't have lumpiness on the nail. So just try to keep the acrylic like size or whatever. If that, y'all get what I'm saying, I think. So yeah, I'm just building it up as you can see, making sure that it's gonna be nice and thick and that I won't have thick, but thick in a good way. Not too thick, but thick enough to where I won't have breakage. I hope to not have breakage, but not too thick to where it's just like bulky and it doesn't look attractive. This one I had, it was kind of like I dried it out too much, but I was wanting it to be a little more stiff because what I was doing is I was not letting it dry a little bit or using too much liquid to powder, and it was like being runny. And to me, you like waste product like that when you're trying to encapsulate something. So I was trying to let it get a little more stiff. But yeah, that's that middle finger. Yes. And we just go. I let that dry some. It stays sticky though, so I let that dry as much as it could and then went on top of it. And again, the camera is like, what the hell? Where do I focus? What am I doing? So, what's y'all like favorite 90s song, favorite 90s TV show, all that? Or even what is just like your favorite era? If it's not the 90s, like what show? I know it probably, if it is the 2000s, it probably would be the early 2000s. Early 2000s was bomb. See this here? She, this is the ghetto. 2020 is the ghetto. So boom, now we on to filing the sides, just getting it all shaped up all nice. And then I'm going to take that ceramic bit. If you lay your acrylic really, really good, you don't have to do much filing. And I, of course, make sure to go around your cuticle area, though, because that kind of seals that area. And that also helps preventing with lifting. So go around the cuticle area and seal it off. Make sure everything is flush to the nail. And that's going to help you out. Help, make sure you have longevity. But yeah, so that's mainly what where I file, and everything else I could kind of do it with the hand file unless I just was being real sloppy with it or for whatever reason. But normally that's not the case. If you lay your stuff pretty good, you don't have to file so much. And then you just buff, of course, all of your nails. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to take the long, well, that's the dotting tool. And then the long paintbrush. And that's what I'm going to use to do my lines. And then, of course, the dotting tool with the dots. That is the rhinestone glue that I use. It came with my rhinestones, and it works really good. A rhinestone gel. So I'm starting off with the white. All right, so doing it with the gel polish versus the acrylic paint, this is the cons. The gel polish starts to bleed if you don't cure it like immediately, and it can be a little streaky too and not as thick, and you might have to go over it again. But what I like about it is that it dries immediately when you do. The acrylic paints seem to be a little bit more opaque. It doesn't run or whatever, like bleed. But the only thing, of course, is that you have to wait for that to dry before you can put anything over it. I'm gonna have to ask my god sister if it cracked it. No, I don't think it did. I'm not sure if it cracked when she used gel polish over it, or if she just had to use a regular top coat over the acrylic polish. But this came out okay. Once I figured out that it bleeds, I just, with the second nail, what I did was I did the lines first, cured it, and then went back and did the dots, so it didn't have time to bleed. So you can just do that and save yourself some trouble. So of course I ended up touching the side of the polish, just doing too much, and got polish everywhere. But that nail addict nail gel polish remover, the remover that they have, please go get that if you gonna be doing this, because it's gonna be a lifesaver for you. And I have a discount code, it'll also be below. So yeah, so now I'm just placing my rhinestones. And like I said, I use that gel. It's kind of similar to a builder gel, the rhinestone gel. And then boom. I'm just gonna seal it with that nail addict top coat, which I really, really love their products. I love their top coat for sure. Their top and their base coat and the remover. That would probably be my favorite. When it comes down to regular nail polish, I mean, nail polish is nail polish is nail polish kind of to me. I'm not, as long as it polishes like it's supposed to and I don't have to do 1,000 layers, I'm pretty easy to please. But I love a glossy top coat and one that stays glossy, and it does. So I'm just doing a little work. So I lost my clip to me doing the rhinestone nail that has the year 99 on it. I'm sorry, y'all. And me doing the pink nail, I think. Yeah, I lost the clip to all of that. I'm so sorry. So, yeah, I was very, very sad about that. So boom, I just do some little line work there. Boom, that famous ombre nail that I loved. So I just make sure to clean it up so I don't have no top coat on my hands because it will burn. And then on this hand, I'm just doing stones on that finger and then the middle finger. Everything, oh, and the first finger. Everything else is going to be left. The two with the designs are going to be left alone just to showcase the design. I don't want to cover it up in any way. So that right there, of course, is just a rhinestone gel. And I'm just going to do a simple, like, minimal line down the middle with, you know, the big stone in the middle. Yeah, this is, which one is your favorite nail? Like, so far, which one do you think you like the most? Which one is your favorite hand? Like, I always pick a favorite nail. And I would say my ombre nail, my 99 nail, and one of my pinky nail on my 99 hand side. I don't know why, I just really like it. So there I go taking the remover, and it's just, it's gonna wipe it off. Once I put it on, it's gonna wipe it off. So yeah, I want to give a supporter shout out. That is Breezy's cuticle crack that I am using. Please get y'all some. And I just want to give a supporter shout out to all of you guys who have just been supporting me through everything. So shout out to the full Weird Old Creep Nation, and of course to any subscriber that requested nail videos. Here you go, my baby. I hope you guys really, really, really like this, and I will talk to you later. I love you guys. Ooh, ooh. Bye.